You're searching for something. Whether you realize it or not, you are.
Dude, get in the car!
It's in your genes. It's part of your nature. It's who you are. You need to know. For us, the search began with a single house. A single house that turned out to be incredibly haunted. Let me do this myself. Kill him. We became driven to find out more, so we keep searching. Searching for answers. We need to know.
We talked about the Baladerry Inn. We had 6 categories that we rate places by. So we've been talking about the size here. The size of the place I define as how many rooms, how many locations, outside, inside, how much room do we have to investigate where we're not tripping over each other?
I think it was pretty good size for what we wanted to do with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you just include the Baladerry Inn, the main house itself, it was average to me.
Okay.
Right. Plus landscape.
Yeah.
Had a lot of land around it.
Yeah, they did have land. And they were nice enough to let us out on the tennis court in the gazebo,
Right.
where a lot of people have heard. So, as far as rating, we gave it, for size, we gave it a 7 out of 10. Now let's talk about the environment. The environment I have defined as outside noise or interference, inside interference, people talking, the walls being thin or the floors being thin where you can't investigate in 2 spots at the same time, stray voltage, cars going by. And how many places have we been where there's cars going by?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you think of the place there?
I thought it was quiet, and there wasn't a lot of interference from other people.
They pretty much left us alone.
But even if they were sitting out there, we never heard it.
Pretty quiet.
Even when we went outside, I thought it was really quiet. When we were at the gazebo and at the tennis courts and stuff, my God, there was nobody around.
Yeah.
And I was actually really surprised. I thought we would catch more just because it was so quiet. It was almost the ideal, perfect place to investigate, just because of the environment. So in the environment, we gave it a let's see here. We gave it an 8 out of 10. I think that's pretty close. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
8.
Okay. We'll go on to history, and my God, what else can you say about the history of the place? Did something historically significant happen there? Well, the Battle of Gettysburg is about as big as you can get. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you can't get any bigger for what we're doing right now.
Not for what we're doing.
All you got to do is pick up any history book in any school, and it's got the Civil War in it.
Yeah,
I mean, what better place to go? That was a big influence on American history.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
I think so too. So as far as history, I mean, it's at the top. So let's talk about fear factor here a little bit. So how scary was the place when you first arrived? How creeped out were you? How much adrenaline did you have pumping? And I guess this is one of those questions where it's a personal thing. You guys agree with that?
Yes.
Some of us get more scared. I get scared at the drop of a pin, and you guys need somebody grabbing you and throwing you down a well to get scared. But so, what did you guys think of the fear factor here?
I just didn't get a whole lot of fear from it. I mean, I did from the history, and something could happen. I just didn't get anything. As soon as we pulled up on it, it was like nothing.
Yeah.
I just didn't get anything out of it. I mean, if it was the battlefield, like you said, it would be a totally different story. That's where all the action was. I could see being scared like that, but at a hospital, I just couldn't see it.
Okay. The only other thing I can say though is, went to the place and it was just absolutely gorgeous. We're not used to investigating in places that are just unbelievably beautiful. I mean, and you have to agree, that was a pretty place.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
So we were all over the place on the fear factor. We came up with an average of 5, which I think is probably spot on, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It wasn't the scariest place we've ever driven up to.
No, definitely not.
But, it had a little bit to it, I think.
No, I
there was
think-
definitely a feeling.
Yeah, I think that was 100% accurate. 5,
Good.
Yeah.
definitely.
So we'll move on to activity. And this is a tough one. So I defined it as activity is the stuff that happened during the investigation. What was your perception, guys?
I thought it was probably, for me, one of the better places we've been to.
Okay.
I think because when we were filming, I thought somebody was behind me in those trees. When me and you were setting up, we both answered somebody, and nobody else was talking.
All right.
You know what I mean? And then that thing moving,
Yeah, that was it for me because I didn't see the ball. I'm giving the interview with Mark Anstein, but I give it a 7 because of what you guys witnessed and watching that ball actually roll and move out of place and watching the expression on your faces thinking, what the heck's going on here? You know?
It's kind of cool though that Mark was talking about the little boy being in the room with us, and then the thing moved. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, going through the DVR, you could barely see it move the first time.
Yeah, but what, 4 of us saw it, so you know it moved.
Yeah.
We did see it.
At the same time, I mean, you looked at me, I looked at you, Steve looked at us both, and Jim was like, did you guys see that?
Yeah, exactly. Now, we did include the Sachs Bridge in this investigation, and, I tell you what, the scream freaked me out, okay, plain and simple, and I think you have to agree with
Yes,
this. At the time it happened, it was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Listening to the recorders afterwards, and obviously you weren't there when it happened, I'm kind of leaning back towards maybe it was an
An
animal.
animal, yeah.
But, and I said it in the episode, I said it on film, that's easily the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, right out of the pitch dark like that, in the dead of winter, we're out there, and you hear this with the anticipation of maybe capturing some sort of voices from some of the soldiers, and all of a sudden this thing blurts out.
Especially you were talking about that lady who lost her
with
kid there, and it sounded like a lady screaming.
It did. And that's the first thing I think you mentioned was, here, little girl drowned there. I can't imagine the lady coming back and saying, and finding the little girl in the water, face down or whatever. I mean, I'd be screaming like that too.
Yeah, if there was a lower voice or something different, you would have thought, nah, but on the recorder it sounded like.
And then it stopped. We went out and started to find it, and that could be indicative of an animal or whatever too, but it was really weird that it just completely stopped.
Yeah.
So for activity, we gave it a 6, a little bit above average. The K2 didn't go off. We've been in lesser places where the K2's just gone nuts, and I was a little disappointed with that, I have to say.
The only place it did at the Sachs Bridge, and that was it.
It did do it at the Sachs Bridge, you're right. But as far as the house and stuff, it was very quiet there.
Yeah.
It was. Even when you guys went into the basement and the attic, I thought for sure, you'd hear something.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, let's talk about the last one here, and that was the evidence. And so how much evidence did we uncover after the investigation? That's EVPs, that's looking through the photos, that's listening to the video, scratches, anything physical that might have happened. We ended up at a 5, and I think we were pretty close. I have to say I was a little disappointed that we didn't have more EVPs. Okay, I really thought we were going to get a bunch more.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
Yeah, I expected more for what happened there. I would just...
For all the activity, I thought we'd get a pile of evidence. It really didn't.
I had hours and hours of recordings and had 5 EVPs.
And they were pretty low quality, too.
Yeah.
We've gotten better ones elsewhere.
Yeah.
So overall, for the Baladerry Inn, as far as a paranormal location to investigate, we came up with a 6.5. That's taking in the size, the environment, the history, the fear factor, the activity, the evidence. We came up with a 6.5. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think it had a lot going for it. I'd definitely go back to that spot. Yeah.
It has everything there. It's got the history, the environment, just like everything, the fear factor. Everything's there.
It had a lot to it, but it was definitely a cool spot. And I tell you what, the owners were awesome.
Yes.
The owners were awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the Baladerry Inn. Again, the 6.5 out of 10 is what we gave it, and it's on to the next spot.
Great. Awesome.
Good deal.
Good. Awesome, Ron. The truth and the folklore of this amazing place most definitely became intertwined over the past 150 years. But one thing is for sure, the pain, the suffering that occurred here is almost unimaginable today. And many say these immense feelings still echo in the rooms of his home and the land that it occupies. It is considered by many as one of the most haunted locations in Gettysburg, and it was our privilege to have the opportunity to investigate here tonight.